let's start this exploration of this paper with, if a patient says to you, should I be going down the sort of high carb, plant-based direction, or is a ketogenic diet going to be better for me in treating my cancer?
So just if we think about it from, again, like we talked about the prevention, treatment, and survivorship settings, I think what we allude to in the paper or talk about is in the prevention setting, a lot of the large population studies from the USA, UK, and France show that plant-forward diets or plant-based diets are associated with reduced risk of developing cancer overall and also specific cancers. So that's in the epidemiologic setting. But when we think about it in terms of mechanisms, with a plant-based diet, we're thinking about the increased fiber, which could reduce intestinal transit time or increase butyrate levels in the stool, which have anti-cancer, anti-inflammatory properties. And then also we do know, and, you've had this in your previous episodes as well, like how a plant-based diet can affect diabetes and cardiovascular disease, and how Neil alluded to that it's not just the direct effect, but the indirect effect of being able to tolerate treatments well. So I think that the strongest data in terms of just directly and indirectly affecting tumor is through plant-based diets. And through multiple mechanisms, even insulin-like growth factor. And when we think about ketogenic diets, they too have specific ways that they could be through the ketone bodies and weight loss. But those are things that need to be looked at in very specific treatment settings, because ketogenic diets can sometimes be hard to sustain long term. So we should think about it as a therapeutic, synergistic intervention, maybe with treatment for specific cancers once a trial shows a positive result, and then think about it for the patient. So as of now, if I am telling patients, I would say that, do whatever diet you might want to, but if you can get 80 or 90% of your calories from unprocessed plant foods, then that would be important. So if you do like a ketogenic diet, try to have the ketogenic diet be more plant-based, because we know that there is some anti-cancer benefits to the plant-forward foods.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I think of it. My perspective on this is, when we are looking at the risk reduction setting, right? What is the path that has the least propensity for going astray? And we know from a large body of work that, as Urvi alluded to, that the effects of a plant-forward, a majority plant-based diet, has many, many effects that all work in concert together to probably have the greatest anti-cancer or risk reduction effect. And in addition to that, I would argue, has less of a chance of going astray. So, for example, if somebody's following a ketogenic diet, an individual may feel inclined or even be misinstructed to consume more processed meats, for example, because yes, you can generate ketones by eating processed meats. But we also know that that processed meat has a direct and dangerous impact on cancer development, for example, colon cancer. Whereas in a whole food plant-based diet, yes, of course, you can eat Doritos and Twinkies all day and say that you're eating a plant-forward or plant-based diet. But I think that it's a little more clear that you really need to be consuming fruits and vegetables and things that are not as processed. And in addition to that, I would also argue that most of our data, when we talk about cancer as a diverse disease state, most of our data indicates that whole food plant-based diets impact many of the processes that are common amongst a lot of these cancers. Whereas, as Urvi said, the ketogenic approach or some of these subspecialized diet approaches, they may be successful biologically for certain pathways, but those certain pathways may not be as common across all cancers and may be more effective in very specific scenarios or situations.